Understanding access limitations to online content is important. When a thread has been removed from the internet, accessing its content becomes problematic. Several factors contribute to this unavailability. Firstly, the platform hosting the content, such as a forum or social media site, may have policies regarding content removal. These policies often dictate that once content is deleted, it is no longer accessible to the general public or even to the original poster. The reasons for removal can vary widely. It could be due to violations of the platform's terms of service, such as hate speech, harassment, or copyright infringement. Alternatively, the content creator might have chosen to delete the thread themselves, or administrators of the platform might have removed it for violating community guidelines. Secondly, even if the content is technically still stored on the platform's servers, access may be restricted. The platform might have implemented security measures to prevent unauthorized access to deleted content. This is done to protect user privacy and to comply with data protection regulations. Additionally, legal requirements might mandate the removal of certain types of content, such as material that is defamatory or that violates privacy laws. In such cases, the platform is legally obligated to restrict access to the content. Thirdly, the internet itself is not a static archive. Websites and online content are constantly changing, and information can disappear or become inaccessible over time. This is often referred to as link rot, where links to online resources become broken or lead to dead ends. Even if a thread was once publicly available, there is no guarantee that it will remain so indefinitely. The website hosting the thread might shut down, the content might be moved to a different location, or the platform might simply decide to delete the thread. Fourthly, search engines like Google and Bing may not be able to provide access to removed content. Search engines typically index web pages and store cached versions of the content. However, if a page has been removed from the web, the search engine's cached version may also become unavailable. Additionally, search engines often respect robots. TXT files, which are used to instruct search engine crawlers to avoid indexing certain parts of a website. If a platform has implemented robots, TXT rules to prevent search engines from indexing deleted content, then that content will not appear in search results. Fifthly, there are tools and services that attempt to archive web content, such as the Wayback Machine. These services take snapshots of web pages at different points in time, creating a historical archive of the internet. However, these archives are not comprehensive, and they may not contain every single thread or piece of content that has ever existed online. Additionally, the Wayback Machine and similar services typically only archive publicly available content. If a thread was private or restricted in some way, it is unlikely to be archived. Sixthly, even if a thread is archived, accessing the archived version may not be straightforward. The Wayback Machine's interface can be difficult to navigate, and it may not always be possible to find the specific thread that you are looking for. Additionally, archived versions of web pages may not be fully functional. Interactive elements, such as forms and embedded videos, may not work correctly in the archived version. Seventhly, there are also technical limitations that can prevent access to removed content. For example, the platform might have implemented measures to prevent users from scraping or downloading content. These measures can include rate limiting, which restricts the number of requests that a user can make in a given period of time, and captchas, which are used to verify that a user is a human and not a bot. Additionally, the platform might use encryption or other security technologies to protect its content from unauthorized access. Eighthly, legal and ethical considerations also play a role in determining access to removed content. In some cases, accessing or distributing removed content may be illegal. For example, it may be a violation of copyright law to reproduce or distribute copyrighted material without permission. Additionally, it may be unethical to access or share private or confidential information that has been removed from the internet. Ninthly, the availability of content can depend on the specific platform and its policies. Some platforms may be more lenient than others when it comes to content removal and access. For example, some platforms may allow users to download their own data, even after their account has been closed. Other platforms may have strict policies against accessing or distributing removed content. Tenthly, it is important to be aware of the potential risks associated with trying to access removed content. Downloading files from untrusted sources can expose your computer to viruses and malware. Additionally, attempting to circumvent security measures to access restricted content can have legal consequences. Ultimately, whether or not you can access a removed online thread depends on a variety of factors, including the platform's policies, the reasons for removal, the availability of archived versions, and legal and ethical considerations. In many cases, accessing removed content is simply not possible.